What's up, YouTube? Steve from Vegas West Side Shooters coming today with a review of a new drum magazine for the Glock 9mm. So maybe some of you have seen previous videos on the KCI drum magazine for the 40 caliber Glock, which we used with our Kel-Tec Sub 2000 without fantastic results, to make an understatement. It really didn't perform well, and I did post that video, and much to my surprise, one of the vice presidents of KCI, who's local here in Las Vegas, actually contacted me based on the video and let me know that he was very disappointed with the performance of that magazine and offered to replace it and or refund the money. And I had a couple of conversations with him, and he's a super nice guy, and he basically let me know that that was their first iteration of that product, and that they have made some significant improvements. But he also mentioned that at the time KCI did not really have a local distributor, and the person who was acting as their distributor really didn't care about the quality and wasn't looking for feedback, and that their company is very intensely interested in the feedback, and that's why they're viewing all of these reviews and videos, and they're making improvements to their products according to him based on the feedback that they're getting. And you know, for me to be contacted by a company about their product rather than me having to contact them is a pretty new experience. And I gotta say, right now their customer service is tops. I mean, he just said, "I'll take back that other magazine, no question, and exchange it." And you know, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the new one. The other thing he did mention to me is that that magazine is not it's not designed for, and it's not really compatible with with pistol caliber carbines. It's really made for the actual pistol itself. And he said, just like not all magazines work with every AK or every SKS. You know, if the SKS is made in Yugoslavia or it's made in Romania, parts aren't necessarily the same, tolerances aren't the same, and so I get that. I understand that entirely. Now, I don't have a 40 caliber Glock pistol. I only have the Sub 2000, but I do have a Glock 19, which was my first handgun that I ever purchased. And so instead of the 40 cal magazine, he actually has provided me with the 9mm drum instead. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this out to the range with the Glock 19 and give it a go and see how this performs in the actual Glock pistol. I did mention to him that I appreciate that, but that I'm going to do a review on it, and I'm going to be honest. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works great, that's fantastic. I absolutely think their customer service is tops, but I'm going to review the product honestly. So we shook hands on that, and we're going to take this out to the range with the Glock 19, and let's see how it does. All right, so here's Luke. We're testing out the KCI 9mm drum magazine for the Glock, and we're using our tried and true Glock 19, and this gun has never had a failure to date. So let's see how it manages this magazine. Range is hot. All right, 0 malfunctions. We're going to load it up and try it one more time. Let's see how it goes. All right, let's try it again. Round 2 with the Korean drum magazine from KCI. So we're back from the range with the KCI 9mm Glock 50 round drum magazine, and I have to say it was a much more pleasant experience than our previous experience with the 40 caliber drum magazine. And the main reason was, as I mentioned in the beginning, that KCI has let me know that these magazines are not intended and don't function well with pistol caliber carbines. So the only comment I could make to that is an improvement would be for KCI to clearly print on the box that these are not intended for use with pistol caliber carbines, or that they're not compatible with pistol caliber carbines, just to stop somebody from purchasing it if that's their intention to use it. Because we don't have a 40 caliber Glock pistol, so the only 40 caliber weapon that we have that takes Glock magazines is the Kel-Tec Sub 2000, and as you saw from our previous video, that didn't work out. So as far as the 9mm goes, we do have the Glock 19, which we used for this video, and we had zero malfunctions with this, zero problems. We went through 2 full magazines, so 100 rounds with not a single problem. So the function of this with the Glock 19 at least is highly reliable. And the other thing that I really love about this magazine, it's pretty solid. It feels solid. It's well built. But I love the loading technique. So this latch here, when you pull on this latch, and I'll show you, you can see it actually pulls the follower down, and then you put the round in, and then you let go all the way, and then it relocks it, and then you can pull the next round down, and so on. And so it actually is quite easy to load. It doesn't cause sore thumbs, and that's an ingenious mechanism as far as I'm concerned. We have an AK-47 drum. We have and that's a metal drum, and it's actually a little bit of a challenge. There's a technique to load it, and you can mess up and load it incorrectly. This is pretty much idiot proof, and for us idiots it's very helpful. There's only 2 comments I'd like to make that I think would make this better, and the 2 things are, number 1, I would like to see witness holes. You don't have to have 33 witness holes, but if you have a 10, a 20, and a 30 witness hole, it would be very, very helpful, because the problem is when you're shooting this magazine, number 1, if you're loading it and you lose count, you've lost count. That happened to us. I'm not really 100% sure I got all 50 rounds in here. And then number 2, once you start shooting it, you have no way to know what's left in this magazine if you don't empty out the magazine. So I think a witness hole system, or maybe a clear panel over here, so you could see whether there's rounds in there, that would be pretty helpful. I'd love to see that on the next generation. The other thing is, when you use this magazine and the magazine is empty, the slide locks back and closes on the empty magazine, so that the magazine is actually holding the slide open, not the slide lock. So that puts tension on the magazine, makes it difficult to get the magazine out, and when you do, the slide slams forward again. So I would like to see it re-engineered if possible to force the slide to lock open like a regular Glock magazine does, so that it takes the tension off, so it's easier to get the magazine out. And then also, when you reload a new magazine in, you just have to release the slide into battery and you're good to go, as opposed to having to rack the slide. So those 2 small improvements I'd like to see, but otherwise it's super reliable, it's inexpensive, it's easy to load, and there's a lot of good things about this 9mm magazine. So we sure enjoyed shooting it. Hope you liked the video, and from Steve and Luke at Vegas Westside Shooters, we'll see you around the range.